Every woman has a story to share that can empower, inspire, and impact the lives of other women by helping them deal with and overcome different issues that they may be facing in their lives today. The problem is, sharing our stories requires us to open up about things that we may not want to think about, let alone share with another woman. And sharing our stories will bring in a lot of negative criticism and judgment from other people. But that's okay, because we have to look past that and get to a point that we're bold enough to slowly let our guards down and muster up the courage and the strength to actually share our stories with one another, which will in turn bring us closer together and help us bring a strong sisterhood. By connecting on a deeper level with other women, you will be surprised at how much we actually have in common with one another. And by sharing our stories, we can help each other heal and deal with these things together. You know, we all think that only we go through certain issues, only we go through pain and hurt, only we go through not loving ourselves and not having no respect, but that's not true. There are so many other women who are dealing with the same issues that we're dealing with. We just don't know it because we're all so afraid to share our stories. Just by looking at another woman, you wouldn't know what all she's been through in life. You wouldn't know what things she still struggles with today, and you wouldn't know what things she's actually overcome. Just by looking at me, you wouldn't know that my mother went missing when I was just 2 years old. You wouldn't know that from age 2 to 26, I never spoke to or seen my father. And we lived in the same city. You wouldn't know that I was picked on and teased in elementary school, middle school, and high school. You wouldn't know that growing up, my uncle was on drugs and he stole everything from us, from our clothes, our shoes, food, and money. And there were many nights that my grandmother struggled to just put food on the table for us to eat. You wouldn't know that one day, one of my uncle's friends took me behind a school and tried to molest me. You wouldn't know that before I graduated high school, I had my first child. You just wouldn't know, and you have no idea that at one point, all of those situations caused me to have no self-love, no self-respect, and no self-esteem. And I had a lot of built up anger, pain, resentment, guilt, shame, and hatred towards a lot of people and life in general. But what you do know is that I'm still here. I refuse to let those situations break me down. I actually took those situations to build myself up. And that's why I can sit here before you and confidently share my story with you, regardless of the negative criticism, regardless of the judgment that I may receive. I don't care. I have overcame so many issues that I have to help someone else. And I know by sharing my story, I can inspire at least one person to get the courage and the strength to face those different issues that they have been dealing with inside all this time and not letting it out. Because I know it can help you. We can help each other. And I encourage you to think about letting your guard down as you go throughout the week, and think about possibly sharing your story with someone. You never know who you can inspire, who you can uplift, and who you can help overcome different issues that they may be facing and holding in. If you like, you can share your story with me by sending me a personal message. I actually want to hear from some of you guys. I want to see what things you've overcome and what issues you may be facing right now. But if you don't want to share your story, that's perfectly fine. It took me until I was 26 years old, which was just 3 years ago, to get to a point where I was bold enough to face those different issues and share my story with other people. I'm glad you guys tuned in this week. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe below. If you know someone who could benefit from this message, please share this video with them, and stay tuned next week for another sister to sister moment.